Hi, today we're here to create this multi-checkbox component in SwiftUI. You can check multiple options. Okay, so let's begin. The first thing we're gonna need is the title that we can use to display some information about the question. Then we need the selection, that is a binding where we can store which options the user has selected. Then we need the options to display, and the options are a generic type that conforms to hashable. Next, we need a key path that we're going to use to display a particular property of the option that is of type T and string. Now, for the actual component, we create a VStack with alignment set to leading and a spacing of 16. Alignment, okay. Now you can add the title. We can set it to bold to make it more prominent. And then now we can create the options list. We can pass the options, okay, with an ID of self. Okay, and for the option itself, we can create an instance of whether it is selected or not. So if the selection set contains the current option, it is selected. Then we can create an HStack, and here we create the rectangle, the checkbox itself. So we can say rounded rectangle corner radius 4 with a foreground style of if is selected it is green, otherwise it is clear. We give it a frame of 20 by 20, and we create an overlay of a rounded rectangle, the same as the box, and we give it a stroke content. If it's selected, the stroke will be nil, so it will be clear. Otherwise it will be gray to mark that the option is deselected, is not selected. And we give that light width of 1. Okay, so here is not a set of string, but is a set of T. Perfect. Now we can add another overlay, that is the check mark image, and we add it only if is selected, if the option is selected. So we can say image. We use a system an SF symbol, so check mark, so system name check mark, with give it a foreground style of white, and a font we can say 12 points. bold. Okay, now we created the checkbox, and now we can add the actual property name. So we can say option, text option, and here we use the key path subscript, and inside here we pass the key path variable that we created up here. So the key path object is component by a root that is the type of the object, and the string is the property that we want to extract from this object. So in this case it's a string because we need to pass it to the text element. Now here we have the text name. We can give it a font of body and a foreground style of primary, so it is black basically. Now we can on this H stack we can add a on tap modif gesture, and we say if is selected, we can remove it from the selection set. So selection remove option. Otherwise, if it's not selected, we can add it to the selection set. So insert option. Perfect. Now we basically have it complete. We can create a preview. So here we can pass a title like what is your favorite genre, a selection here to create a previewable state. If we create a state in the preview, it will be marked as cannot preview a state variable. To be able to preview a state variable, we need to mark it with previewable. Now we can pass it here. Selection options. I created an enum with various different options. We can mark it as case iterable, so we can use the all cases, and for the key path we can specify the name property of the options. Okay, now we should be able to see the actual multi-checkbox component we just created. Perfect. It is centered, so we can say that for the whole component we can give it a frame of max width of infinity with alignment to leading. This should bring this closer to the edge, to the left edge. Now we can add a padding to create a gap between the edge of the phone. And now if you click classical, so I can select classical, metal, rock, pop. You can deselect it. Perfect. Alright, if you enjoyed this lesson, you can subscribe to the channel and leave this video a thumbs up and activate notifications so you won't miss my next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.